Yo, what up guys? I'm so getting banned here with full tutorial on how to properly set up and install Kali Linux. This is going to be a 2-in-1 tutorial. You can either install it to a partition, which I highly recommend, or boot it live off a USB, which I don't recommend because it's very slow that way. Installing on a partition is very simple. It's not hard at all, so don't trip. I know I've been making tutorials in a while, but I'm definitely going to start back up. For those of you that don't know what Kali Linux is, it's basically designed for pure pen testing. It has just about every black hat tool in the book, and yeah, you can accomplish just about anything with it, and it's just something really handy to have. Alright, so first off, we got to create the partition. Alright, if you plan on just booting it live off a USB, you don't need to do this, but yeah, go ahead and type in partition down here in the search bar. It might come up as disk manager or something similar to that, but once you find it, let it load up. It should look exactly like this, or very similar. Basically, you want to select the biggest part of your hard drive because that's the main part, and that's what you want to chip off a chunk of, so that way you can install another OS operating system on it. Alright, now this will not mess up your computer one bit, guys. Alright, so don't think that or trip out about that. You simply just want to right click it, and you want to go over here to shrink volume. You want to shrink the volume so that way you have some extra free space to install the other OS. Well, this usually takes a second, so I'll be right back when this is done. Alright, so whenever it's finished, it should select the maximum amount of space you're allowed to shrink it to. This is 86 gigs right here. You can lower it if you want to whatever amount you want it to have. So I'm going to go ahead and click shrink. Now this also takes a few minutes, so I'll be right back as soon as it's done. Alright, what I meant to say was whatever number you put in that box, how many ever gigs it was, is how much you're taking off your main hard drive. So yeah, it won't hurt nothing if you put what you didn't want to put. So now we got 84 gigs here, and this is where we're going to install the new partition. Like I said before, your main OS won't be messed with at all. It'll be perfectly fine. So now that we got the partition made, we got to go and get Kali downloaded and burned to a USB. So just Google Kali Linux. Yeah, just hit the download button. I bet if I say shit wrong. It's 5:02 a.m. I'm pretty damn tired. I don't know why I decided to make a tutorial right now, but just was in the mood. So now you want to select your operating system, 32-bit or 64-bit. I already have it downloaded, so I ain't gonna do it. And yeah, y'all can just pause the video and come back whenever it's done. Next thing you're gonna want is you need Rufus to burn it to your USB. So just Google Rufus, it'll come up. Let's go down here and download it right here. Drag it to your desktop. It seems to run a little better when it's there in my experience. Go ahead and open it up. Say again, you need a USB with at least 4 gigs. Make sure you got your USB selected up here. Just leave this how it is, FAT32. You rename this to whatever you want, it don't matter. Make sure you uncheck this. Go here and make sure you select ISO image. And then you want to select your ISO image from here. I already have it burned to a USB, so I'm not going to do this. There'd be no point to, so hit start. It'll take a few minutes to burn it. Probably a little longer than that, probably about maybe around 20, depending on how fast your computer is. And yeah, before you hit start, it's going to format your USB, so make sure you get any files on there that you want to keep and store it on your computer. And then yeah, just hit start. Now the next step is you're gonna have to boot your computer up off your USB. Alright, and to do that, it's one of the F buttons. If you don't know what it is, mine's F7. You could just slide your fingers real fast as you're starting your computer and just cutting back on, and it'll either come up in the BIOS or the boot manager. Either one doesn't matter, because in the BIOS you can still select your USB. Let's go to boot and yeah, select it. So I'm gonna switch over to my phone real quick, and yeah, we'll continue from there. Got my computer completely off. Once your computer is completely off, you know, if you don't know how to boot up in Boot Manager, like I said before, you just want to slide your fingers across all the F buttons at once, but it usually says it as it's starting up. You just got to know what button to press, and you just got to repeatedly press it until it yeah, it comes up. So I'm gonna go ahead and start my computer. Alright, I'm gonna keep pressing F7 repeatedly, and now Boot Manager just came up. Alright, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to select my USB. It's kind of obvious to know which one's your USB. It should say USB disk or something similar to that. So I'm going to go down and I'm going to select it. I'm going to hit enter. Now you should come up like this. Now those of you that want to run it live, you'd simply just select live AMD64 or USB persistence. That's better, so that way it saves all your files and shit whenever you shut down. But those of you, you know, if you're smart, you'd go down here and install it, because live it's just pure shit, to be more specific. It's just too slow. Everything's slow, and I can't stand it. Alright, so let's just go ahead and install it. Alright, it's pretty obvious. Just select your language: United States, American English. Let this load up. I'm gonna just pause it every time. That way this goes a little bit quicker. Alright, there we go. Just let it do what it does. Alright, configure the network host name. Now this is what's gonna show up in Kali, like whenever you open up a terminal. So I wouldn't just leave the name as Kali. I'd just make it something cool sounding. I'm gonna select I'm just gonna put Zodiac, because it's a pretty cool sounding name in my opinion, just for the hell of it. And you just want to hit continue. Domain name, just make it the exact same thing. Once you got it in, just hit enter. Set the root password. Now here you want to set the root password. I'm just going to make it Tor, T-O-O-R. It's the default password. Just re-enter it in. Select wherever the hell you are. Doesn't really matter. Alright, now this is the very important part, guys. You gotta be very careful when you do this, because you can completely, you know, install it on the wrong partition, like the one you have Windows on, and yeah, override it and lose everything. So you want to select use the largest continuous free space, all files in one partition. And now this is where you're going to select it. Now you need to remember the size that you selected. I remember I made mine 87 gigs, so that's the one I'm going to select. So make sure you click the one that you know, make sure you remember the size of the partition you made. Alright, and I'm gonna go down here and I'm gonna, you want to mount point, should all be good. Oh yeah, you want to use as, I didn't even notice that. You want to make sure it's on EX2, external 2 file system. Make sure the mount point just has a slash for root, that's what that means. And then you want to go down here and hit done setting up the partition. Once you've done that, you want to go down here, you want to hit finish partitioning and write changes to disk. Alright, now another thing, you want to make sure that you don't want to have you know, your main hard drive that you have Windows on selected, because they are going to be formatted. And yeah, just make sure that this is cell partition 6 and partition 7. You can just go back and just double check. I don't know why the hell it selects the USB formatted. It's fucking weird. But then you want to go ahead and hit yeah, finish. Go over, hit yes. Write the changes to the disk. It's installing now. I'm obviously just going to pause it and come back when it's at about 99%. Alright guys, it just finished installing, so whenever it asks you if you want to use a network mirror, you need to click no. Alright, I've encountered a lot of problems using the network mirror. And yeah, don't select that, so just hit no. Just let it do its thing. Install. Alright guys, this is also very, very important. The Grub bootloader is, how you're gonna, it's gonna come up every time you cut on your PC, and it's gonna ask you if you want to boot into Windows or Kali. So you need to install the Grub bootloader, alright? So hit yes on that. Alright, then it should come up saying installation complete. It's time to boot into your new system, so just go ahead and hit continue, and should finish it up. Alright guys, now as your computer restarted and came back on, you should end up in a screen like this. I have Kali installed on my computer twice. I have 2 installations of it. So I'm going to go ahead and hope I select the right one. So go ahead and select Kali Linux to boot up. Then you should start booting. Alright, now you guys should be at the login screen. The username's obviously going to be root. Damn it. And the password's just going to be Tor or whatever you put whenever you were setting up Kali. Let's log in. Alright guys, you guys have now successfully installed Kali Linux. Now you're definitely not done yet. You guys have a lot of things you're gonna have to configure, and I made a little tutorial on that inside of a text document, and I'll put it on Pastebin and post a link to the text document, and I'll go over everything. As you see up here under root, under the internet option, it says device not managed. Well, you can't get on the internet until you fix that, and I made a whole tutorial in this text document on how to fix everything to get Kali running perfectly. Alright, everything you need to do, everything you need to configure, everything you need to update. And yeah, it took me a while to throw this together, but yeah, as you see, it has all the tools. It's really badass. I plan on making a tutorial on just about every single one of these. Most definitely am, if they're worth it. If they're gonna be useful to people. But yeah, like I said, make sure you do this in order too. Alright, this is very, very important, and if you want Kali to run right, do exactly what I put in here. Alright. So yeah, peace out guys. If you have any problems, like with booting up off your USB, just comment them, and I will most definitely help you guys. I always do, no matter what. I'm here to help you guys. It's the whole point of my YouTube. And yeah, that's about it. So getting banned out.